My number one biggest advice to these camera companies, or basically any companies that are sending products out to reviewers, remember the smaller channels have a stronger core audience, because some of the bigger channels, their audience is anywhere from 10 years old to maybe 15, 16. Those are not your buyers. Those are not the people that are going to buy the products. It's the people in the 30 to 60 age range. Those are the ones that are going to buy products, and those are the ones that are going to be most loyal to a channel. Well, hey everybody, something I do want to talk about, and that is how here in 2026, the camera releases are extremely strange. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so we've got the Insta360 Luna Ultra, which I've got right here. Then we've got DJI Pocket 4 and the DJI Pocket 4P. And then we've got GoPro with their new Mission 1 series. And what I'm talking about regarding how strange that the camera releases are here in 2026 has to do with the fact that I have never seen camera releases like this before, where the camera companies actually leak out what the new models are going to be like. And I'm going to start off with GoPro. So GoPro, they don't leak the Mission 1. No, they leak the Mission 1, the Mission 1 Pro, and the Mission 1 ILS that takes a Micro Four Thirds lens. So you may say to yourself, well, that's all well and fine, but it doesn't really make any sense. And then you've got DJI that's releasing the Pocket 4, but they do a lot more leak videos of the Pocket 4P, which to me is kind of like shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to trying to sell something. And I'm just going to give you an example. So let's say that I'm a Dodge fan and I like the Dodge Challenger, which I do. I love my SRT8. I think it's a great vehicle. So Dodge says the new 2027 model we've got coming out of an SRT8, I say it's going to be a wide body kit. Okay. But then they show you another Hellcat or Demon version that'll be coming out later on. So what does that mean? Do you think people are going to go out and go buy the SRT8 wide body? Or are they going to wait for that higher performance model? I'll give you Sony. Do you think that Sony would say, we're releasing the A7S IV, the predecessor to the famous A7S III? And do you think that they're going to say, but you know what? We've got an A7S VI that's going to be coming out that does all these other things much better. And they leak all of those videos and what the camera looks like in video samples. And then they release the A7 IV or A7S IV first. How many people are going to buy the A7S IV first, knowing that the A7S V is coming out or S6 is coming out that outperforms it? People aren't going to do it. You know, DJI, they knocked it out of the park with the Pocket 3. I think the Pocket 3 and the Xtra Muse, which is a DJI sub company, I think that camera is phenomenal. And from what I've seen, yes, the specs are a little bit better on the Pocket 4, but not enough to warrant getting the Pocket 4 when you know the Pocket 4P is coming out right around the corner. And it may be only $50 or $75 more. Why in the world would anybody buy the Pocket 4 then? And you could say, well, it's for those that are on a budget. Well, if you're on a budget and you're talking $50 to $100 difference to get twice the performance, a dual lens pocket camera, why in the world would you buy the Pocket 4? And then you got Insta360. They released the Luna Ultra dual lens, but they've got a Luna that's coming out. So it's almost like we're going to push the Lamborghini of cameras first and get you all hyped up for that. And maybe if there's any interest in the sub version, instead of a Lamborghini, you're going to get a Ferrari. Maybe those people would rather just get the Ferrari that's only got one turbo as opposed, like one lens, as opposed to a Lamborghini with twin turbos or two lenses on the 4P. It makes you wonder, what is the rationale? I don't get their thought process on how they're marketing this stuff. And usually, yes, has there been leaks in the past? There sure has. There have been leaks of every camera of the GoPro Hero 8, the GoPro Hero 9, the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, all that stuff got leaked. But it was like very little leaks. You didn't have people coming out with like the Luna Ultra, where you had all these creators come out and they were showing off the Luna Ultra and they were showing you the camera, but they couldn't show you the back of it because it's a big secret. So that really got people more and more curious, which I could see, okay, maybe on one end of the marketing spectrum, that was a good thing. But then on the other hand, it's like, you've got all these creators that are stuck to an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, so they can only talk about certain things instead of the way that they were doing it before. And it's really strange because I don't know if this is a market experiment that these cameras are doing, whether it's GoPro. I mean, GoPro, they release the Mission 1 Pro. Does all these great things, but you know what? If $700 is too much for you, how about $600? Can you get the Mission 1? Which does a lot of what the Mission Pro does, but not everything. Or are you going to wait for the ILS? And you've got so many people that have gear acquisition syndrome, otherwise known as GAS. And it's very perplexing how the marketing has been for these cameras here lately. And then you've got, XTRA, and I'm going to throw XTRA into the mix here because the XTRA Muse is due to come out very soon, the Muse 2, that is. But then they've got the Muse 2 Pro, which is a dual lens version, just like the Pocket 4P. But there's no mention and no video leaks of the Muse 2, the single lens version. So I don't know. It's just really strange. I don't know what these camera companies are doing marketing-wise. On a side note, I had put up a short video talking about the GoPro Mission 1 Pro and how it was a hard pass for me. And, you got all the GoPro fanboys that jumped in on that, and they're just like, oh, what's the matter? You're too broke? I'm not too broke. I get to decide what I'm going to spend my money on. GoPro has never sent me a camera, ever. So every GoPro that I have, the 5 through the 13, has all been paid by me out of my pocket. So since it's my money, I get to choose what it is that I want to purchase and then do a review. I'm not going to send it back. I think that's bad karma. There's a lot of channels out there that they'll buy something and then they'll send it back. And I think that that's bad business for whether it's Amazon or Best Buy or whoever, because now that has to be either turned into a used piece of equipment or called refurbished, sold at a discount, and it actually hurts that camera company. And I don't believe in that. Do I still have all my GoPros? Yep. The 5 through the 13, still have them. 13, should never got it. Never have got it, but I did, and it is what it is. And then you've got Insta360 that I think is, and I don't know this for certain, but I think that the Ace Pro 3 is right around the corner. And I don't know, maybe it's going to get a new look. Maybe it's going to get 8K 60 so it can compete head to head with the GoPro Mission 1 Pro. If Insta360 stays to their Ace Pro 2 pricing, you're looking at $400 to $500. And that could still be a lot for a lot of people, but it's not $700. And Insta360 makes a damn good product. And XTRA makes a damn good product. It's what I'm shooting right now. I'm shooting on the XTRA Atto. I've got the little DJI mic mini. Works just fine. I just did that cruise video. I'll put a link to that up here. And then it's on the main channel. But I brought along a bunch of extra cameras. I bought all of them. The XTRA Atto, the Edge Pro, the Sphere 360, and the XTRA Muse. And I think the XTRA Muse and the XTRA Atto are so underrated for what they are. And considering that, you know, DJI products you're not going to be able to get anymore, XTRA has, you know what? People that bang on XTRA say, oh, well, XTRA is just a shill company. And I was one of those people when I first got the XTRA Edge Pro that I bought out of my own pocket, mind you. XTRA, they have sent me a couple of pieces of equipment like the XTRA Atto. They sent me the Sphere 360, but the Muse and the XTRA Edge Pro, I bought with my own money. And I was really skeptical. It's like, are they side-skirting the law? And at this point in time, you know, my main channel, Worth It or Not, was built on, is an item worth it or not? And I really don't care about the politics or the diplomatic mumbo-jumbo regulations that's going on right now because, you know, DJI, they begged the government. They begged the United States government, please do an audit on all of our stuff and on the app. And if you find any funny business, absolutely ban us. But you're not going to find any funny business. I'm not an IT expert. I'm not a security expert. I've got family that works for the government in different capacities at different levels. But I don't know any of their rationale behind it. I don't know if it's a punishment against China in general in DJI being such a big company now. But if XTRA can make a DJI product, and I don't know, it may be a little licensing agreement, but if they can make a DJI-like product with the same performance at a better price and offer it here in the United States, you know what I say? 2 thumbs up. Go for it. Go for it, because the only winner in the whole situation is going to be us, the consumers. So we get to win. We get a product that is going to be a top-tier product, a great performing product, less expensive than the name brand DJI, and it's readily available. You can get it. So I'm looking forward to the XTRA Muse 2 Pro dual lens system. I really want to test out. Part of me even wants to get in touch with Gerald Undone and say, hey, I'll ship this thing to Canada. Will you do a dynamic range test and see what is the actual usable dynamic range? Is it actually 17 stops? Because it may claim 17, but it's only 15 stops of usable. Even if that's the case, that's still a great camera considering it's going to be in your pocket. It's a pocket-sized camera. We're not talking about these big rigs anymore of a big mirrorless camera that you have to spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on to be able to get some nice dynamic range out of it. You can do it with a handheld pocket camera, which to me is just fantastic. But the marketing thing has just got me really, really, really confused. You know, this Insta360 Luna Ultra is not mine. It's borrowed from a friend of mine and I do appreciate him. He is he's a creator that It's got millions of subscribers, and he got to play with it. He had some issues with it. So I'm going to play with this one a little bit to see if I can replicate some of those issues. And, you know, Insta360, I've been waiting and waiting. My rep, I don't know what's going on with my rep. I don't know if she's lost her mind or if she's new, or I have no idea. But she was supposed to send me the Ultra 3 weeks ago. And what did I get? I got an ND filter set. Okay, that's great. Then I got a black mist filter for it. Okay, that's great. Then I got the wireless mic Pro from Insta360. Okay, well, that's great. Where's the Luna at? So then there's another shipment that comes. It's got a little battery. It plugs into the bottom of the Luna. Okay, great. It's got a neck mount. Great. Where is the camera? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. These reps, you know, I've been dealing with Insta360 now for the better part of 6 years, and I have sold hundreds of thousands of dollars of their products, like Xtra. I'll give you Xtra, for example. Just through Amazon, in the last 30 days, I've sold over $30,000 worth of their product. Yeah, I make affiliate money off of that. Okay, nothing wrong with that. You know, YouTube doesn't pay great. I don't have millions of subscribers to where I'm making $15, $20, $30, $40,000 a month from YouTube. So affiliate marketing is what I've got to do. But I push a lot of their products. And I was supposed to get the Xtra Muse 2 Pro a couple of weeks ago. And then they even put up a big banner saying that I'm part of the first creators that are going to get their hands on it. And now they're dragging a little bit behind. And I don't know if it has to do with firmware updates. That's kind of what I've heard through the grapevine. But, you know, will it eventually come? It will eventually come. The marketing has just been so crazy with these camera companies. And regarding GoPro, you know, I really held out hope for GoPro. I really was really deep down, I was kind of rooting for them because they're the ones that started this all. And at this point, there's 72 cents a share. I mean, they released the Mission series. It went up a little bit, and it's just been nosediving for this past month. And when Nick Woodman says that his auditing firm doesn't feel positive that the company is going to last another 12 months and that they're actively looking for a buyer, I think GoPro, very sorry to say, they shot themselves in the foot by not releasing a 14. They shot themselves in the foot by falling so far behind DJI and Insta360 that they took the lead and GoPro got left behind. And GoPro, they do all this stuff with Red Bull and all of these different creator giveaway award prizes, $1 million. You should have stuck that money into developing the GP3 chip sooner, coming out with better features, a new design. I think you should have done that earlier. Is the Hero line dead? I don't know. I think after this mission, and Mission 1 Pro and the Mission 1 ILS that has no electronic contacts on it, I think GoPro is pretty much done. So it's going to be a very interesting year, considering that this is now July of 2026, and the big camera companies, they usually release in August, September. That's usually GoPro's timeline. Insta360 can be August, September, October-ish. Sometimes even into November, depending on the model. So, you know, Insta360 should be releasing an X6 very soon, I would imagine, with 1-inch sensors on it. I think that the Ace Pro 3 will get released. Hopefully they're going to release the Luna, the single lens version, and hopefully it'll compete with the Pocket 4 single lens version. But it's just really strange. So this is my opportunity to kind of just blow off a little bit of steam, talk about my frustrations and what I've seen in the camera market here lately that's just so bizarre, so bizarre with their marketing strategy and how they're releasing cameras and releasing information about these cameras. But, you know, I mean, who am I in the big scheme of things? I'm a nobody when it comes to their marketing strategy. They're going to do what they're going to do. But for me, from a standpoint of doing reviews, you know, it's kind of important to be able to do a review on a camera that makes a lot of sense in a timely fashion, you know, and that, man, that could be a whole other can of worms I could open up regarding people that get a camera before release and they get to put up a day of release video, or even, let's say they get the camera a day after it's been released, and then they can start putting up videos, just first look videos or test videos, but they can do that within the first week of a camera being released. Those channels have a great opportunity to really grow their audience. Insta360 has been very faithful to me and my channel and being able to send me products, but is how grateful that I am for that. They always send me their products a month or two after release. The fire is gone. The majority of the smoke is gone. There may be one or two little embers left that are glowing. So I got to miss out on all of that first day, first week, first month stuff. And considering how many hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Insta360 products that I've sold, I'm just really surprised by that. But then again, you know what? It's funny because I'm sure that their marketing department sits there and they say, well, this guy only has 60-something thousand subscribers. We're not going to prioritize him to get a camera early and do a review. We're going to send it to the people that have 2, 3, 4, 500,000 subscribers, million subscribers. We're going to do that. But what the marketing department doesn't realize, and it's funny because the gentleman that let me borrow his Luna Ultra, he knows this, as he's got, 3.7 million subscribers. He knows that out of all the people that watch his videos, a very small percentage of them, very small, actually smaller than my percentage, actually purchase via his affiliate links. And it's really funny because it's the smaller channels that have that core audience that trusts them and purchase products that those smaller channels recommend. And that's one thing that the marketing department with these camera companies really needs to open up their eyes to, because they are missing out. If they want to generate buzz and they want to generate sales, then get on the train and reach out to these smaller these smaller channels. And I'm going to say, like, Paul Feinberg. Paul Feinberg puts out some great content. Really nice guy. Him and I, we've been in contact. We'll text message each other about stuff all the time. And I think he's got 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers. A lot of companies would look at that and go, you know, it's kind of a small channel. But you know what? He sells products. He moves products. I move products. I mean, on average, just an average month for me, on a slow month on Amazon, I'll move around 15 $18,000 worth of products. On a really good month, that's been really, really good. Holiday time is really good. It can be in the $50,000 to $60,000, $65,000 worth of products in a 30-day period. That's immense. And when these camera companies don't realize that the smaller channels have a better, stronger, and more trustworthy core audience that's actually willing to buy. And you know me, when it comes to a product, if I don't like a product, I call it out. If I think that it's just not worth it, it's not worth it. If I think that it's a good product and it's worth buying, especially at the price, I will tell you that. But I leave that up to you to decide. And that's why, I was one of the first channels way back when. This has been, 10 years now that I've been on YouTube with Worth It or Not. I've been on YouTube a total of 16 years on another channel that I have that's much bigger than Worth It or Not. I enjoy Worth It or Not. I try to give you an honest opinion, and Lord knows, I have been through 300 or 400 different action cameras over the years, so I can kind of tell you the action cameras that are good and the ones that are and if the ones that are I always give that company an opportunity to fix the problem. And if they tell me to go pound dirt that they can't fix anything, that this is the best quality, then of course the review may not turn out the way that they want. Anyway, this video's turned out a lot longer than what I anticipated it to be, but it's just my frustrations with marketing and how they treat the smaller creators and how they treat the larger creators. And yeah, so if there's any piece of advice that I'd like to give to the camera companies out there, hopefully this was just an experiment that you did in 2026 with the DJI Pocket Series, this Luna, the Xtra. This is just an experiment that you're doing to try a different market strategy to see how it turns out. And my number one biggest advice to these camera companies, or basically any companies that are sending products out to reviewers, remember the smaller channels have a stronger core audience, because some of the bigger channels, their audience is anywhere from 10 years old to maybe 15, 16. Those are not your buyers. Those are not the people that are going to buy the products. It's the people in the 30 to 60 age range. Those are the ones that are going to buy products, and those are the ones that are going to be most loyal to a channel. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Tell me down in the comments section below, do you think it's been really strange, this whole marketing experience? And yeah, Paul Feinberg. I'll put a link down in the description so you can check out his channel. Definitely give him a subscribe, because he's definitely well worth subscribing to his content. And if you do go subscribe to his channel, put up a comment. Let him know that Andre from Worth It or Not sent you. Anyway, that's enough of Worth It or Not backstage, or kind of truck stage. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.